Hi, I'm Mark Rauch. Does ethanol suck water right out of the air? No, of course not. But let's find out for sure. On the right side of the screen is a bottle of 200 proof ethanol. That's 100% non-denatured ethanol. You can't get stronger or more pure ethanol than 200 proof. This is even purer than E100 fuel. On the left is a bottle of Everclear 120 proof ethanol. That's 60% non-denatured ethanol. This is virtually E60, but without any filthy additives like gasoline, benzene, toluene, or xylene. I'll be pouring some of each in open glasses, and I'm going to let them sit in the open air for several hours. If ethanol can attract and absorb water out of the air, then the level of liquid in these two glasses will increase. I'll mark the glasses to show the level of the liquid. Among the most persistent negative claims made against ethanol fuel is that ethanol absorbs water right out of the air. You can hear this from professors, car mechanics, so-called energy experts, politicians, and automobile collectors, including people like Jay Leno. The consequence of this claim is that the water can damage engines and fuel systems. The basis for making this claim is that ethanol, actually all alcohols, are hygroscopic. A general definition is that hygroscopic substances attract water or water molecules from the surrounding environment. Well, this is in fact a lie, and I'm going to conduct a test today that will conclusively prove that it's a lie. You may wonder if I'm really using pure ethanols for this test. Well, there's one way to find out. I'll put a flame to it. Wow, that's pure ethanol all right. The lie about ethanol's hygroscopic nature was invented and is used by the petroleum oil industry to disparage ethanol fuel as a competitor to gasoline and diesel fuel. What they did was to substitute the word environment for the word air or the word atmosphere. They would then claim that ethanol attracts or absorbs water right out of the air, right out of the atmosphere. But the true use of the word environment in the instance of hygroscopy meant the immediate adjacency to the substance in question. In other words, the hygroscopic substance has to actually be touching the water. In 2011, Mercury Marine, the world's largest manufacturer of boat motors, conducted an ethanol webinar. They irrefutably stated, quote, "There is no active transfer mechanism for ethanol molecules to reach out and grab water molecules out of the air. The primary cause of water collecting in fuel tanks is condensation." Close quote. The test I'm doing provides visual proof that ethanol does not suck water out of the air. This test will also debunk some other negative myths about ethanol. I'll get to those myths shortly. To help prove the overall test, I'm going to use a cotton ball. Cotton is a very hygroscopic substance. I'm placing the cotton ball near to a little pool of plain water. I'll be adding some food dye to the water to make it easy to see. If a hygroscopic substance attracts or pulls or sucks water, then either the water will migrate over to the cotton ball or the cotton ball will move over to the water. Okay, on to the test. I'm now going to use time-lapse photography to show the progress of the test. To show the passage of time, please note the timer on the lower left corner and the change of daylight coming through the window on the right. You'll also notice a TV set in the background on the right, and that my wife or I occasionally walk through the background. This is our working kitchen after all, and sometimes we like to eat and drink. I'll be back with live video later. This time-lapse photography encapsulates about 8 hours in only 30 seconds of time. The camera is automatically shooting one frame every 10 seconds. Now back to the video. Okay, it's 6 p.m. I started the test at 10 a.m. That's 8 hours ago. The first thing you should notice is that the level of liquid in the two glasses has not increased. Clearly, the ethanol did not suck water out of the air. So the claim of ethanol drawing water molecules out of the air or atmosphere is now officially dead. It doesn't happen. If anything, there might be a very, very, very slight reduction of the liquid in the glasses. This would be due to evaporation. I'll get back to the issue of evaporation in a few moments. You'll also notice that the plain red-dyed water in the foreground was never attracted to the very hygroscopic cotton ball. Nor did the very hygroscopic cotton ball move to the water as if it or the water was a magnet. This proves definitively that the phenomena known as hygroscopy does not simply mean that a hygroscopic substance will attract and absorb water located in its general vicinity. But what you will notice is that the plain red-dyed water has completely evaporated, leaving only dry remnants of the red dye. I'm mentioning evaporation because another of the negative myths told about ethanol is that it is so evaporative that it can't travel long distances by tanker or by pipeline. In fact, ethanol can be transported long distances and in pipelines. Pipelines are used in Florida to transport ethanol, and pipelines are also used in Brazil to transport ethanol. This proves that the negative myth about ethanol evaporation is a gross exaggeration. Let me show you what hygroscopy in action really is. I'm pouring some additional red-dyed water on the tile and placing the cotton ball immediately next to the water. It is touching the water. Notice that the water is being sucked up into the cotton ball. The cotton ball is absorbing the water, but to do so, it has to be in direct contact with the water. Ethanol will absorb water it comes in direct contact with, but this is not a negative characteristic. It is a beneficial characteristic. Water can form in a fuel tank and fuel system. It happens because of condensation, natural condensation. Ethanol does not increase the amount of condensation, and condensation can occur when there is no other liquid around. This is why condensation can form on cars, windows, and outdoor furniture. So when condensation forms in a fuel tank and system, the best way to remove the water is to put ethanol or some other alcohol in the fuel. For years and years, people put products like dry gas and heat in every gasoline fill-up to absorb the water that can form because of condensation. The active ingredient in dry gas and heat is alcohol. One single bottle of dry gas and heat can cost the price of 3 gallons of gasoline. The ethanol in ethanol-gasoline blends not only does everything that dry gas and heat can do, the lower-priced ethanol-gasoline blends then save you even more money because you don't have to use the additives. By the way, gasoline is also a hygroscopic substance, but it is not as effective as ethanol or other alcohols in removing water. If you're concerned about water buildup and rust or some other corrosion, then you want ethanol in your fuel. There's another myth about ethanol being so highly corrosive that it can melt plastics and rubber. This bottle of pure 200 proof ethanol is plastic. It was shipped to me across country from New England. If ethanol causes plastic to melt, the product would never have made it across country, or the bottle would have melted right here before your eyes. Another way to prove that alcohol does not melt plastic is to go to your bathroom cabinet and pull out your bottle of rubbing alcohol. This will be ethyl alcohol or isopropyl alcohol. The bottle will be plastic. The bottle will not be melted or deformed in any way, and you've probably had the bottle in your cabinet for many months or years. Regarding ethanol's effect on types of rubber, the Auto Channel website has other videos that prove ethanol does not melt or disintegrate rubber. We also have links to chemical comparison charts that show ethanol to be compatible with more types of rubbers, plastics, and metals than gasoline and aromatics. Any damage done to an internal combustion engine by liquids is caused by gasoline, aromatics, and other types of petroleum distillates. Petroleum oil fuels, aromatics, and petroleum distillates are poison. They are poison to living creatures and to internal combustion engines. This video has destroyed multiple negative myths about ethanol. If you meet a professor, an engine mechanic, a politician, an energy expert, or an automobile enthusiast like Jay Leno who tells you that ethanol is bad, please direct them to this video. Thank you for watching.